Thank you, Mr. President. So, first of all, Mr. Kamal, when I hear you, I ask myself, you want simply to continue all the cooperations inside the European Union. Why for hell you want to go out there? Why for hell you want? So I don't understand that. So you say you criticize the European Union, and then you say, yeah, but we want to continue A, B, C, D. You go until Z. Okay, we're going to see, but. And I want also not to come back to other unfortunate statements, that of Brexit negotiator Mr. Davies. You know who called, I think that already Gianni said it, the agreement a statement of intent. I spoke to him yesterday on the phone, and he assured me that it is absolutely not his intention, not the intention of the UK government, to backtrack on their commitments. And I take note of that, and I think the best way Michel, to secure this is that in the coming weeks we transpose all these commitments in the legal text of a withdrawal agreement. That's the best way to do it, and to do that not in the coming months but in the coming weeks, when we start also the second phase of the negotiation. But talking about this withdrawal agreement, dear colleagues, especially on citizens' rights, there are three outstanding issues, I think, that need to be solved in the withdrawal agreement. And that are, first of all, the fact that the rights, the citizens' rights, are also granted to future partners. There is no reason why future partners of European citizens should not have the same rights as the rights that we have defined here. The second is that we want also full protection, dear colleagues, for the UK citizens living in Europe. That has been a point of view from the Parliament from the beginning. If one UK citizen living on the continent has a right of residence or a permit of work in one country, our opinion is that this permit and this right of residence is in fact valid in all 27 member states. That is our view. And I have to tell you, it seems to me, I have the impression sometimes, that we care more about this than the whole British government for the moment, but that's not the problem, because it's our task as European Parliament to defend these citizens, if it be European citizens living in Britain, if it are UK citizens living on the continent. And then thirdly, if you allow me, dear colleagues, the concrete procedure. I think that Michel Barnier did a great job. All rights are protected now. Very clear, all benefits also. There is the word settled has been skipped because we are not settlers. The Europeans living in Britain are not settlers. That's very clear. That word has been skipped. But there is a problem with the procedure, and we need to solve it. And the problem is, the point is that apparently nobody seems to trust the Home Office. In every letter that I receive from Britain and from EU citizens, they are saying, yeah, all our rights are protected, but be aware that it is not a procedure in which we create an enormous administrative burden, in which the burden of proof is on the back of the citizen instead of on the Home Office. And I think we need to take that into account. I think that this Parliament can never give green light to the final agreement if we have not in the withdrawal agreement a simple procedure, a declaration, one form per family, cost-free, and where the burden of proof is on the Home Office and not on the back of our citizens. It are not our citizens who have decided for a Brexit and who can have the negative consequences in a burdensome procedure that is introduced here. And in our view, this is part and parcel of citizens' rights, because citizens' rights are worth nothing if they are drowned in a sea of red tape, if they are bogged down in rules and in regulation. And to make it more understandable, we will never allow, for example, that a European banker living in the city who have enough money to pay very important lawyers can make it, and a Polish plumber or a Romanian doctor cannot make it. That we will not allow. There has to be a proportionate approach in this. Like we all will be very keen, but Michel Barnier knows it, on the issue of Ireland. Ireland cannot become the collateral damage of Brexit, dear colleagues, and that we will never allow, and our solidarity with Ireland will always be full. We will always be behind Ireland in these negotiations. And finally, talking about solidarity, because that's a question of solidarity that we are behind all our member states and behind Ireland. Saying that on solidarity, I have to tell you, I was completely shocked yesterday by the paper issued by President Tusk, and I told it to the representative of the Council, issuing a statement and a paper in which she is mainly saying that the EU has only to assist the member states, it's the member states who are responsible for the migration crisis. Well, I think, and I'm echoing what you are saying, Mr. Timmermans, for me, the solution can only come from the European Union. And there will be no solution for the migration crisis. Is it not a European solution? And I mean a European border and coast guard to manage the outside borders. A European asylum package and not the Dublin approach, with the negation, in fact, of such a European approach. And also a European economic migration policy. Let's make the European blue card the sole system of economic migration inside the European Union. And that is what we need, instead of a paper coming from Mr. Tusk, who is undermining, in fact, the whole approach by the European Commission, and at the same time the whole approach of our rapporteur here in the Parliament, Mrs. Cecilia Wikström, who have worked hard to have an agreement here in this House. So let's go forward with European solutions, and the European Council has to show that it is on the same level as Parliament and Commission in this fight. Thank you.